Hi there, my name's Petherick, and I'm a career and performance coach to talented women just like you. I've created this free three-part video series to talk to you about an issue that I see a lot of women struggle with. In fact, all of my clients experience this. But first, I have a question. Did you know that 70% of us are not happy with the work that we do? 70%! Oh, that's a huge number. That's a huge waste of our time, talents, and energy. That just floors me. So, what are we experiencing? 70% of us. Well, I like to call it career chafe. Yes, indeed. Career chafe is the term that I use to describe that underlying but undeniable irritation, that frustration we feel because our work doesn't align with who we most naturally are. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, career chafe can take several forms. For example, perhaps you are a fairly creative, fast-thinking, spontaneous person, but for whatever reason, you find yourself working in a large organization, a behemoth organization that is bureaucratic, highly process-driven. Wow, you feel like you're in a box, don't you? Because who you are isn't aligned with what you're doing. In fact, it reminds me a lot of another uniquely female experience, which is wearing a pair of control top pantyhose that are too tight, right? Imagine that on a sweltering hot day. Well, I know you're going to be watching the clock, waiting for that moment when you can run home and rip those suckers off. Well, that's a visceral example of what career chafe can often feel like for women. Another example of career chafe. Perhaps you're fairly analytical, you're very detail-minded, you like things to be highly organized. But what happens if you work inside a small entrepreneurial organization? Well, it's not going to feel real fun for very long because you'll be frustrated that things are being decided on the fly, that the environment is constantly changing. In fact, you may start to think there's something wrong with you. Why aren't you enjoying things? Why aren't you achieving success in this really cool environment? Well, it's because who you are doesn't align well with what you're doing for a living. In fact, keeping with that pantyhose metaphor, it's like wearing a pair of hosiery that's 3 or 4 sizes too big, right? They're loose, they're unsupportive, they're baggy. In fact, they, put them on and the results look really disappointing. So career chafe can take many forms. In fact, another example might be that you're a mom and you're returning to work, and what used to feel like a good stable job, now it feels like an obligation to an inflexible employer, or you realize that job now has very little meaning. So the point is, there's many forms of career chafe, but it's fairly unique to women. It resonates with us. Why? I think it's because we are the masters. We're the masters of putting something on or wearing something because it makes us look good, but it doesn't necessarily feel good, right? Think of control top pantyhose or breaking in a new pair of killer 3-inch heels. Well, yeah, they look killer, but they're killing your feet. Now, I want you to remember, career chafe, 2 things. Number 1, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. You know what, in 6 years of being a career coach for talented women and having navigated my own career makeover in my 20s, I know that it's not our fault because the way that we approach careers in North America is completely backwards. Backwards. It's not your fault. It's not that you're some diva that will never be happy no matter what job you have. Nor is it that you're somehow fatally flawed and destined for a career of misery. No, it's not your fault. But you're also not alone. Remember, 70% of us are experiencing career chafe to some extent and at some point. So now you have a term to refer to that unique experience where work does not align well with who you are. Why is it though? Why do we experience this? Well, 3 simple reasons. We like to think that our careers are highly complex, our life is complex. But what it comes down to is that our work is clashing. It's not honoring 3 basic elements of our natural selves. The first is that it doesn't align well with our natural personality, how we like to operate naturally. It could also be a clash or mismatch with our natural talents. Maybe the results we're paid for producing at work don't fully leverage our natural skills. And third and finally, career chafe happens because the work that we're doing doesn't align well and doesn't honor what we truly find meaningful, what we find fascinating, or what we're passionate about, right? And if that's the case, you're probably experiencing work like, meh, right? You're bored, you're disengaged. Well, that too is a form of career chafe. So those are the three critical reasons why we experience career chafe. There's a mismatch between who we are and our personality, our natural talents, and what we find inherently meaningful. So now you know. Now you know what career chafe is and why you're experiencing it. The next two videos that I want to share with you, the second video I will talk about the critical costs associated with career chafe. There are 4 painful costs associated with it, and I bet you don't even realize what they are at this point. The final video, of course, I'm going to share with you the solution, the answer, how you can rid career chafe from your life. There are 3 simple solutions, and you will get to choose one of them. So if you haven't done that, haven't opted in yet, I invite you to do that now. You can opt in below, it's free. Put in your first and last name here and your email address below, and you will automatically receive the next 2 videos. I can't wait to share those with you. But in the meantime, I really want you to do something for me. I want you to share this video with your girlfriends, with your sister, with your colleagues at work, because I can bet you they too can relate to this issue of career chafe. So post your comments below and share the video with your friends. I want to get the career chafe conversation going. I want to hear what your experience has been and what questions you have about career chafe. So thank you very much for watching. I can't wait to see you in the next video.